heard of
Sausage?
the UFC fighter.
The sausage?
Sausage.
Welcome to the Siri Yanks channel. I appreciate everybody coming back and spending a little bit of the time out of your day with us. So today we are predicting Europe's top 10 leagues and the winners of the league. That is not all the Champions League spots. That is literally the winner of the league, numero uno. Could this be next year's Champions League winner or a Champions League dark horse? We'll find out, and we'll see how much you disagree with my champions. Now that said, I'm using a ranking by Global Football Rankings. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check out the league standings. So if you are upset by the order that the league goes in, because I am going to be going in order, argue with them, not me. I'm just going off a list. So that said, before we get into today's video, I do have one favor. If you do like any of the videos that I or Adam post, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are the small guy. We have absolutely nothing to work with other than a camera and an app. So please keep that in your mind as you're watching the video. And if you can see my dog's head popping up in the back, she'll appreciate it too. So let's kick things off with the English Premier League. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because, like every other channel, we're obviously picking between Arsenal and Man City. I actually do think Arsenal have gotten better, but Man City is just too good. And unless you actually grew up a Man City fan and you're a genuine Man City fan, I'm not talking about a bandwagon, the past 5-year kind of fan, I'm actually happy for you. But that said, I really, really don't want this pick to come true. But at the same time, I do have a brain, and I do think Man City is going to win this. Although, of all my predictions, I hope this is the one I get wrong the most. So, Man City wins the English Premier League. Now, the number 2 ranked league, according to this site, is the Bundesliga in Germany. And I think Harry Kane finally gets a trophy with Bayern Munich. I don't know who's going to step up. I was really, really rooting for Borussia Dortmund last year, but it didn't happen. They're just too good at every position. They're too deep at every position. The only real drama I could see this team having is the Manuel Neuer situation, and how is he going to actually do with this injury when he's fully, completely ready. But that said, that's the only drama I can see happening, and they have the funds to go out and basically get whoever they want to, a goalkeeper, whether it be Navas, free agent like De Gea, whoever. That said, it's got to be Bayern Munich. Unfortunately, the first two have been easy. Now, number 3, we've got La Liga, and I think this is where we get our first real obvious competition between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I think you could flip a coin, but I do think Barcelona, and with the help of another Lewandowski Golden Boot, will get La Liga again. And look, Barcelona, for what they're worth and all the turmoil they're in and blah, 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 their youth looks absolutely amazing, and they're going to be set for quite a while. The only thing that Barcelona needs to worry about is, can they actually make a print on the Champions League, which is something their arch rival does pretty much every Champions League competition. Will this be the year Barcelona actually do something in the Champions League? I think that's the bigger question than who will win La Liga. So, Barcelona. So now we head on down to my personal favorite league, and that's Serie A, which is the Italian league if you're new to the sport. I think you can pretty much make an argument for 4 clubs at least here, and I think this will be the most competition of the top table of any league in Europe. But I'm going to go with AC Milan, and I think they've been doing transfer splashes that I just don't see other top clubs in the league doing. Now, granted, money is an issue in Serie A, and I also think Napoli was an outlier last year. I was very happy for them. I think the city deserved it, the team deserved it, but I do think that was an outlier year. But AC Milan, they got Pulisic, and maybe this is just me and my American bias speaking, but he's going back to more of a natural position and playing correctly on the pitch, and they brought in some old players who already have some camaraderie, older Chelsea players who already have some camaraderie together. They look comfortable a team, and this team just genuinely looks like a vibe if you follow them on social media. I think this is going to be a super fun team to watch, but it's not going to be easy. But my pick for Serie A is AC Milan former Zlatan United. So number 5, we move on down to Ligue 1, or if you're new to the sport, you may think this is called the Farmers League if you read anything on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. So PSG is obviously going to be a popular pick, and they're going to be up there. But they are in absolute turmoil. You look at all their signings from last year. Ramos is gone, Messi's gone, Neymar is about to leave, Mbappe is absolutely just refusing to even play for them, or at least the team is not letting him play anyway, and he wants to leave next year. I mean, this alone is more entertaining than what's going on the pitch, figuring out what actually happens with this club. This is purely a club made of money that tried to buy a Champions League, and now it is absolutely backfiring. That said, I do think all this is enough to let another team come up and take Ligue 1. And they haven't been dominant in the past few years at all. But I think this year is going to be won by the Gambia down in Marseille. It's a well-ran club. I mean, you can say what you want about the fan base, but I think they've made some good moves. And I do think letting Payet walk at his age was pretty much the right choice and the right thing to do. Even though what I'm about to say is going to kind of contradict it because of his age. But mark my words, and you heard it here on this channel first, Aubameyang is going to be contending for the Golden Boot, and he is going to actually win the Golden Boot on the last day of the season. And at that point, Marseille will actually have already locked up the Ligue 1 title. You heard it here first. Mark this video, save this video. Marseille is winning Ligue 1 this year. So we are officially out of Europe's top 5 leagues, and we are going down to the Eredivisie, which is Netherlands. And I really, really want to say Ajax here, but they have lost a lot this summer. I think Timber was actually a bigger loss than a lot of people may realize. Even though I do really want to say Ajax, because I fell in love with Amsterdam when I went a few months ago, and it has a place near and dear to my heart, but I just can't say Ajax this year. But I'm going to go with PSV, and I know I may get a lot of crap in the comments about this because I am American and they're buying Americans left and right now, but I do think Pepe and Tillman were really, really good moves. And I have another theory, and you heard this here first too on this channel. There's another American that is looking for a club, and even though it's not PSV's insane need, but he was eligible to represent the Netherlands, and that of course is Serginho Dest. I think he can go back to the Eredivisie, become the badass we all know he is, and then get back his confidence, and then go back to the top 5 leagues, and then so on and so on. But you heard it here first. Dest is going to go back and play for PSV. He was at Ajax before, but I meant back to the Eredivisie to play for PSV. And I think they're going to take the league this year. And I don't think it's going to be close. So there's a hot take for you. Next up, we have the Primeira Liga, which is the Portuguese league. And if you follow this channel, you know I have an ongoing beef with Portuguese fans. All I'm going to say is Porto is going to win the league, and that's all you're going to get out of me. Yes, I'm still holding a grudge against you guys. If you clicked on the link in the description, you know the next league is a interesting one because they do play in Europe, kinda. They are in Europe, kinda. They're a very odd particular country to say right now, and I don't want this particular channel to get a strike, so I'm just going to say the next ranked league, without saying any names, it's going to be Victor Moses FC. And if you don't know what that is, Google Victor Moses, see the team he plays for, and that's the team that's going to win this league. 2 leagues remaining. The next one up is the EFL Championship. So who knew this league would be this high? I bet no one out here did. I didn't. I think this league is actually going to be the hardest league to get out of in all of Europe. And if you can see my scarf over there, and I've got another one over here that's outside the camera reach, but my club, my personal favorite club, plays in this league, which is QPR, and we have no shot of even making the playoffs this year, but that's another story. But I do think that this league is so tough that you could actually put about 5 Premier League teams in the championship, and I think they have no shot of winning first or second place, an automatic spot. That's just how tough the championship is this year. That said, the team with the most to offer in terms of talent and facilities, I think, is going to win the league this year, and that, of course, is Leicester City. I think the Foxes will hold off fights. It's going to be literally, I think it's literally, this could come down to the last day, and the points differential. There could be multiple teams fighting for these top 2 automatic spots. And I think if the Foxes do make one wrong move, they're not going to be there. But I do think they have the players right now, in terms of a championship standard, they're just slightly above everyone else. It's not going to be easy. It's just not. But I am interested to see what Jamie Vardy does. I mean, I think that's going to be a really cool scenario and story to see if he lights it up or if he's actually finished. But that said, Foxes are going to win the AFL Championship, and they're going to be back up in the Premier League next year. Rounding out this video, I've got the Super League. And this is going to be won by, and it's no surprise if you've actually paid attention to this video, but it is Galatasarray. And if you are my friend, you're probably on the floor right now that I actually knew how to spell that, considering I cannot spell basic words. But Galatasaray is going to win this league. And I mean, but seriously, look at the moves they've made this offseason. This may have been, in terms of name value, this is the most impactful offseason that or summer window that they've had since I can remember. I mean, they've brought in Icardi, Zaha, Zaniolo. I mean, there's a rumor that Ramos, and I've even heard De Gea is going to be there. In my honest opinion, they're going to be their own worst enemy. And I think if this team clicks together, no one's going to stop them. I mean, all the big names are always going to be up there in the Turkish league, but I do think that they have a quality that is just going to be above the rest, and they're going to be playing, hopefully, Champions League football, group stage this year. But that said, let me know in the comments, and I know if you're a Turkish league fan, you're probably going to disagree with that, but we'll see. And if you've made it this far, you made it to the end of the video, I really, really appreciate that. These videos are not easy to make. They take a lot of time, a lot of editing. Even if you're just editing as crappy as I am, it still takes some time, so I appreciate you making it to the end. Please, please, please like this video, even if you hated it. Please subscribe to this channel, even if you hate soccer. It really, really helps us out. That said, everybody have a great, 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 wonderful week, and I hope your team wins, or have already won this weekend.